Birds come in a variety of colors and sizes. Many can be quite beautiful. While most birds are harmless and go unnoticed, others, such as these egrets, are a menace to aircraft. The problem is they flock to wide open places like the Osan runway and flight line. Because of our monsoon-like weather, these birds find plenty of food available in the marsh-like conditions around the runway. They like small toads, frogs, and other animals that thrive in these conditions. Airfield management does its best to keep the grass trimmed, but again, the weather helps make it grow all that much faster. Base operations make runway sweeps twice a day, checking for foreign objects, things like rocks, tire segments, and such. During the sweep, they also check the bird conditions, then report this information to both incoming and outgoing pilots. It gives the pilots a heads up that they might possibly have a problem. Osan's bird condition usually stays at the moderate level throughout the summer, meaning pilots must keep a watchful eye. When bird conditions warrant, base ops return to the runway and shoot off scare shells, a blank shotgun shell that doesn't explode until it gets out over the birds about 150 feet out. And it works. Birds on both sides of the runway take to the skies as soon as it goes off. Unfortunately, they usually circle the flight line, then land on the other end of the runway. Basically, base ops chases the birds from one end to the other, but it does clear the runway long enough for aircraft use. Sometimes base ops must use live shells to kill the birds who are either deaf from long noise exposure or are no longer afraid of the scare shells. While they don't like to, it is a last resort to clear the runway. And what if these scare tactics don't work? Captain Wes Butler, the Osan airfield manager, explains.
I'd say that we're probably averaging right now 1 to 2 strikes a week. We probably average, somewhere in between there, 1.5 strikes or so a week. And we've had 3 FOD outs of 3 different engines in the last 3 weeks or so. So we have a pretty big problem here.
Because of the noise aircraft make, they themselves can scare birds away. The problem is, many times the birds underestimate how fast the aircraft is flying and get hit before they realize what happened. The results are deadly to them and costly to us. The problem would be a lot worse, though, were it not for the efforts of base operations and the airfield management folks. From Osan, I'm Air Force Sergeant J.D. Harrington.